Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to demystify the true financial commitment required to build and maintain a custom reef ecosystem. Look, if you've ever found yourself staring at a breathtaking, vibrant saltwater aquarium and thought, man, I want that in my living room, well, you're absolutely not alone. There's just something incredibly magnetic about bringing a literal slice of the ocean into your home. But getting from a beautiful idea to a thriving, living ecosystem takes some serious planning. So today we're going way beyond the basic price tags. We're giving you a full, realistic breakdown of what it actually takes to succeed in this hobby, so you know exactly what to expect before you take the plunge.
Right, let's dive straight in and ask the big question you need to answer before you buy that empty glass box. How much does a custom reef really cost? It's the absolute most common question for newcomers, and honestly, it's kind of the trickiest answer. That's because the word custom means exactly that. It's completely tailored to your wild ambitions and your living space. As our source material from Saltwater Reef Co. points out, the price is going to vary wildly based on the complexity of the system, the quality of your gear, and whether you're setting up a small, simple tank or a massive display that completely dominates a room.
So, here is the roadmap for our explainer today. We'll be covering 1. Upfront equipment and hardware. 2. Water testing and cycling. 3. Investing in livestock. 4. The monthly running bill. And 5. Hidden costs and budget tiers. We're going to shift our mindset away from treating this like a one-time purchase, and instead look at it as a true ongoing ecosystem investment.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, upfront equipment and hardware, the initial build costs. For a lot of first-time owners, it's a huge shock to realize that the beautiful glass tank itself is just a tiny fraction of the total starting budget. The real heavy lifting and spending is in the life support system running behind the scenes.
Okay, just look at the massive range in pricing across all this essential gear. It's pretty eye-opening. Your tank and stand alone could run anywhere from $500 to over $3,000, depending on if you want basic glass or custom furniture-grade cabinetry. Then you've got reef-capable LED lighting, which is absolutely crucial for your corals to photosynthesize, and that can run from $400 to over $2,500. Add in filtration, a protein skimmer to pull out organic waste, all the intricate plumbing, plus automatic top-off systems and heaters, it adds up fast. In practical terms, a really solid, common build usually lands somewhere between $3,000 and $7,000. But if you're aiming for a premium setup with a big tank and advanced redundancy, you can easily blow past $15,000 before a single fish even enters the picture.
Moving right along to Section 2, water testing and cycling, getting the system stable. So, once the hardware is all plugged in, you can't just fill it with tap water and toss in a clownfish. We have to make the water safe first. Think of this like pouring the concrete foundation for a house. You're building the invisible, biological foundation of your entire ecosystem.
Now, buying rocks and test kits might sound a little unglamorous, but investing heavily here is completely non-negotiable. You absolutely need biological surface area for beneficial bacteria to grow. That means buying live or dry rock and sand, which will run you anywhere from $150 to well over $1,500 for those really intricate rockscapes. You're also paying for the initial salt mix, precision test kits to monitor your nitrogen cycle, and some basic quarantine gear. Spending up to $400 on test kits might sting after buying all that hardware, but getting your water chemistry perfectly stable from day one is going to significantly reduce the risk of expensive livestock dying off later. It's literally an insurance policy for your reef.
Okay, now for the really fun part. Section 3, investing in livestock, curating a living ecosystem. This is where your custom reef budget truly diverges and where your unique vision finally comes to life. But it's also where your wallet can take the biggest hit if you aren't paying attention. The crucial takeaway here is that livestock is not a one-and-done checkout. It is a phased, ongoing investment that scales with your pace and your learning curve. Typically, you start with your first hardy fish and a cleanup crew of snails and crabs. Budget may be $100 to $600 for that. Then, once the tank proves it's stable, you might drop another $150 to $1,000 on a starter coral package. From there, well, ongoing additions can easily cost $50 to $500 every single month, depending entirely on your patience and how rare the species are that you're hunting for.
In fact, there's a really fascinating rule of thumb in this hobby. Basically, your long-term budget for the fish and coral is almost always going to end up mirroring your initial budget for the glass and gear. Think about it. If you spent $5,000 building the perfect life support system, it's highly likely you're going to spend another $5,000 filling it with spectacular marine life over the years. It's a pretty stunning realization that the expensive glass box is really just the entry ticket.
So what happens after the tank is fully stocked? That brings us to Section 4, the monthly running bill.
ongoing ecosystem expenses, because the financial commitment definitely doesn't stop once the fish are swimming around. This operational phase is what catches the most people completely off guard.
You have to remember, you're paying to keep a miniature ocean alive 24/7. Every single month, you're buying salt mix for water changes and purified fresh water for top-offs. Then there's electricity. Running powerful lights, heaters, and return pumps around the clock can easily add $20 to $150 just to your utility bill. Toss in testing reagents, calcium supplements for coral growth, high-quality food, and filter media, and you should expect to spend roughly $50 to $300 or more every single month on routine chores. Got a massive system running a water chiller for the summer heat? Yeah, you'll be at the very top of that range.
And finally, we reach Section 5, Hidden Costs and Budget Tiers, Empowered Planning. Let's see how all these phases roll up into our final comprehensive budget tiers while also accounting for those sneaky things you probably didn't expect.
Custom builds are amazing because they're so flexible, but that flexibility introduces surprise add-ons. Over time, you might realize you need stronger water flow, so you got to upgrade a pump. Or maybe your electronic monitoring probes start drifting and need to be replaced. And let's be real, things break. Mechanical wear and tear is just a reality of the hobby. You are absolutely going to need backup power or spare parts for when a pump inevitably fails on a Sunday night when all the local fish stores are closed.
Because of those hidden surprises, allocating a 5 to 15% contingency fund on top of your original budget is the absolute best way to save yourself some serious heartache. Setting aside this emergency stash from day one means a broken heater is just a minor annoyance, rather than a frantic financial crisis that literally threatens the lives of your fish and corals.
When we combine all of these phases, 3 distinct budget tiers emerge. An entry custom reef, meaning a smaller tank with just the essential reliable gear, averages around $2,500 to start. Stepping up to a mid-range custom reef, which gets you a larger tank and some solid automation, lands around $5,500. And finally, a premium custom reef, featuring a massive footprint and all the high-end redundant tech you could ever want, is easily going to average $11,500 and up.
This insight right here from our source material is the ultimate key to empowered planning. Decide on your specific goal first. Are you looking for a chill, beginner-friendly soft coral tank or an advanced high-flow reef that demands intense lighting? Figure out that goal and then construct your budget tightly around it. By matching your hardware perfectly to the actual biological needs of your future livestock, rather than just blindly buying top-end gear because it looks cool, you're going to eliminate a massive amount of wasted spending. Well, we've unpacked the intense hardware requirements, the critical water chemistry, the livestock parity rule, and those unavoidable monthly utility bills. It is a stunning, deeply rewarding hobby for sure, but it absolutely demands respect and financial preparation. So I'll leave you with this to ponder. Are you ready to embrace the true, ongoing financial commitment of curating your own living ecosystem? Or does this reality check keep you safely on dry land? Think about it, plan carefully, and keep exploring. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you on the next one.